quick question.
I'd like to call the Sister Cities Commission meeting for Monday, July 11th to order. Can we have roll call?
Present, we have Carolyn Marty, Larry Mack, Jane Mady Hulke, Michelle Markgraf, Keith Roloff, Steve Balza, Terry Sweeney, Dick Saboth, Brian Filson, John Vorwerk, absent Gary Klimick, Jeremy Reed.
Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for June 6th of 2022. And
I move to approve.
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Stands approved, minutes. The financial report from June 30th is included, and we are at the same spot that we were last month. We have had no expenditures. And we have received the 3M money for the intern. The exchange program has been received. And we had an expense for that, a plaque of $73.50 as well. That's been taken care of for Rita. Has that been delivered? Does anybody know?
Yes, I
Okay,
delivered
okay,
it
thank
after
you.
the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions? If not, can I have a motion?
Motion to approve the financial report?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Then we will move on to our exchange program. Our inbound is Felix. Has anybody heard exactly when Felix's flight is coming in?
I believe it's Friday, the 22nd.
But do we know what time and what?
It's in the late afternoon. I have sent him an email requesting really, flight number, airline, all that stuff. It was, the first email was nebulous, so I'm comfortable I will hear back soon.
Okay, so I'm also going to ask Lisa to follow up on it, please, just in case, okay? Because I have emailed them as well, and I have not received back anything for my 3 emails that I've sent him. So I just want to make sure that we have it,
Oh, yes.
okay?
Time is coming up close.
I know, it's not that far away. It's a couple weeks on a Friday night. And it'd be nice to know the time, the flight, all that stuff, so you can track it and know exactly when he's coming in. So our host families remain the same. Dick Seaboth from July 23rd to September 3rd, and then Terry Sweeney from September 4th until October 15th. Okay? And Dick, you will take Felix to Jensen's Motors. You can take them out there on Monday morning. They'll have it ready to go. I followed up again this week with Jensen's to make sure
Thank you.
they are ready to go. Any questions or concerns about Felix coming?
Are we bringing them out to 3M then on the 27th, that Wednesday for orientation? Because there were a couple emails going around on that they could start that
I
Monday.
have there.
but-
I just need to know what hour.
Yeah. Are you bringing them out that first day yet?
Make sure he gets there, yep.
Or Keith, or you?
We'll get him up there.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
okay, perfect.
All right.
You just have to take them down to HR.
That I haven't done.
And that's what I
The
thought.
only one, I would assume?
Building 1, it'd be the lower entry.
Yeah, the lower entry. Just go in there, there's a door to the left. Just knock on it and they'll let you in.
Come in from Front Street.
If you come in from Front Street, you'll go straight up to the visitor parking. And there's a half dozen
It'll be
steps.
on the left, the lower building.
It'd be on the,
Upper
no,
building.
upper building.
Upper building, but from the back
Upper
side.
building, lower entry.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I got it.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or concerns about
Excuse me,
Felix
what
coming?
time is appropriate?
I believe orientation will start at 7 a.m. So I imagine we're gonna want them there probably by
6:30.
6:45.
Yeah, and you probably have him follow you or drive his car, because I would assume he's
We'll,
gonna start
we'll
working
make
right
the
away.
drive a couple of times so he can find his way
Yeah.
on his own.
Because I'm sure they'll get him started that same day,
Yes.
so.
Yes, and orientation's a half a day just on its
And-
own.
Yeah, so he doesn't get lost.
And then Noah has sent the journal already one, and it was included, I believe, in the packet. Some pictures from Germany, along with a little article that he had put in, that was in the journal, as far as how it was going about his host family and what he's all up to. So that first one is completed. All right. Are there any other questions for the program, the exchange program? If not, we're going to move on to old business.
I guess the only question I have, and maybe I should just speak directly on the reception aspect of things, so,
Okay, that's coming up.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
so we will have an update from Mayor Sweeney relating to the service club sign to display signs. Do you have anything to
right.
report?
Am I on, Dan? Yep. So one thing I've said of a year and a month of being mayor is I've learned the concept of process. How you don't just have a good idea and 2 days later it's done. It doesn't work that way, and the sign is proving to be that. So originally we were going to put it on 7th North and German Street, and the city engineer had an idea that that wasn't such a good spot after all. Then we were going to be at Herman Heights, and there was resistance from the Herman Monument Society and some Park and Rec. So we're going to put it now. Well, let me word that more tenuously. The plan now is to put it in the Schonlau Park where the Glockenspiel is. And Tom Schmitz wants to kind of make it like a kiosk, like what we see up at Herman Heights. It's kind of a four-sided kiosk. It's painted yellow, if you can remember that concept. To put the signs in there and then have a little plaque or paperwork or what have you describing each of the service clubs as well. And we've picked out a spot for it. And then you get guys who now it's got to be raised so we don't have lawn mowing issues and just all of this stuff. They're all valid things, but it's stuff that's like, this is way too simple to be taking so long. But that's the next plan. Probably no work on it till September. May not see the light of day till next spring. And I wanted to still be mayor. It was my idea, dang it. And but anyway, so that's the progress. It's possible next April or even May till it's done.
Okay, so will we continue to get an update from the new mayor on this, or will you still follow through on it and continue to give us updates?
You'll get updates one way or the other.
Okay,
I don't know who's going to do it, whether me or whoever.
okay.
Can I ask a?
Mr. Mayor, a question about the sign that caused this.
Yeah, way to go,
Upheaval.
Dick, who started this whole problem.
Yes. Are we still looking at installation at 2 or 3 of our ports of entry into the community, just under the population sign, as we talked about almost a year ago?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about when the population signs are coming. I think the number's 14,022 is the new population. But I don't know anything about when the sign's coming. But when that comes, then that facilitates everything else moving. But I wouldn't take any action about ordering the sister city signs until you see them in place.
Then we see what, the population signs in place?
Yep.
Terry, in regards to the kiosks, is that something that city staff's gonna make,
Yep.
or?
Yep.
I was just thinking that might be something we could have the school district make for their trades program or something creative,
Yeah.
maybe.
They're, no, Tom has a kind of a roughed out design and then have city engineer draw it up.
Okay.
And I haven't gone back to, I've gone back to some service clubs and said, don't order your sign yet. We don't know what size to make it now. So it's fluid. But it'll happen. Just not in 2 days after my good idea.
Any other questions or concerns? If not, the next item is 6.2. It's the welcome reception for Felix Willman, and it's scheduled for Monday, August 1st at the Cagle Club. And they've requested to know how many people are attending.
We, unless we suddenly know something, we've never known it before.
I know.
I always tell her, from 20 to 30 is what we always, do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Not order plaques, because that was never my thing, but I'll gladly work with Mona on setting that up again, if
Okay.
you want to do it. We always bring extra food. Anybody
I've
need
got
it?
it reserved already.
Oh, never mind
Room
then.
and stuff, and, all she wanted, she said generally it's 25 to 30
Right,
people.
exactly.
She'd like to know what time, though, you want the food there.
We start the meeting, and then we had it after the meeting, and 6 o'clock is when we started food.
Okay.
When she had to bring it out. And did you already pick the hors d'oeuvres?
Nope,
Oh,
I
okay,
thought I'd let her do that.
okay. Doesn't matter to me. If you want to take it, that's fine.
Who would pick the food?
Mona,
Mona.
they've done it for,
For all of it, but I always
Forever.
pick the food.
oh,
It's a control thing. It's fine. I think that's a great idea. Let her do it. I have no problem.
Okay, one item from a food standpoint.
to.
I do want to. I have my favorites, Brian, my favorites.
if you want to do that, go ahead.
Kidding. I'm teasing you. Ethan.
Since it is a potluck, and in reading our trainees' bio, he is interested in barbecuing, so I think the night before, we're going to turn him loose and see what he can do with brisket. We'll bring that for sandwiches for the evening.
Like it.
That's nice.
Okay. And Dick, remember, you will be in charge, okay? Because I'll be gone. Sorry. Next on the agenda is to discuss the possibility of bringing back the Children's German Language Camp. And I guess what we would need to do is probably form a committee that could look into this, a small committee that would be willing to look into the possibility of bringing it back, what will all be needed, where we're going to have it, how long, how many days.
Teacher, that's the main thing.
teachers,
There's nothing if we don't have a teacher.
Do we have a teacher that's willing to do it? Again, it will probably be more volunteer, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead,
Kurt
Carol.
Whitmershausen, he did it, but he did it at the college. They let us have a room up there and,
Oh, yeah. Otto Werner.
yeah.
Yeah. So those are all the things that we'll need to look into. And then have that committee come back and give us an update on a proposal for what they think we can put together. So if anybody's interested in being on that committee, you could raise your hands now, or you can reach out to me before the next meeting, and Dick, I'll make sure I'll get that to you before anybody that agrees they want to help on the committee. I will get that information to you before the next meeting. If not, then if we haven't had anybody volunteer, then I will appoint somebody to be on the committee in our September meeting. Okay? Because we have time to work on it, but the sooner we get started looking at it, and the sooner we can put stuff together, the easier it's going to be throughout the whole process.
Yes, if we're able to put it together nicely enough in advance, we could probably get it in the Park and Rec thing, publication that comes out, so people can start planning considerably in advance, and I think that would help the opportunity to fill the class.
Yep, so those are things that we need a committee to find out all the details on and bring it together. So, and the next one is 6.4 is discussion about possibly of forming an Alm tour group, and you were all giving a map. Do you want to talk?
Sure, yes, I'll
Please.
speak to that. Larry and Dick and I did have a chance to meet once to kind of brainstorm on the topic. One of the questions I think we want to bring back to this committee is to see the interest level and whether or not this is something we should continue to pursue either as simply a publicity generator for sister cities and/or potentially a fundraiser. We could do so probably in either direction. I don't think we'd have any trouble getting someone to coordinate it, but this is something that would take some work both from the committee and from an individual, some marketing and so forth. To make it profitable, my guess is we would have to have at least 24, ideally 36 folks probably signing up for a tour of this nature. And that's something that's, I guess, is the great unknown, is how many people in the community would be interested in traveling with us and going over to visit Ulm. I did put together just a brief itinerary, nothing solid at all, just some variety for a tour that would spend some time in Ulm and help us make some connections there with our sister city, as well as give folks a little overview of different areas of that portion of Europe. Again, if we think it's worth pursuing further, we can work with an individual who might be interested in coordinating this on our behalf. But my question to you, I guess, today is, do you think this is worth pursuing, again, either from a publicity aspect or as a fundraiser?
Did you put this together, Steve? This isn't like Wade Olson's handiwork.
No.
No, good job.
Thank you.
It's a good publicity. You know, I don't know about how much we're going to make off something like this, but, or how much involvement we, you know, how much work we want to do as commissioners or as a committee, and or there might be some resources or people that have traveled abroad, and if, you know, maybe we get a couple proposals to get from them, and if they're willing to coordinate it and maybe give us a kickback, you know, perhaps.
Yeah, that would be my thought too, is that we would share or for every individual that would sign up, they would build in a gift to the sister cities, or however we'd want to make that financially beneficial to the sister cities. I'm not sure about tax implications and how that might work either, but that's something we could probably speak about with whoever would be interested in coordinating the tour.
Well, the one thing we have to we think about too is if we're making a fundraiser, why are we making it a fundraiser? Because we do have a substantial amount of money in our account that we have to really think about how we're going to be using anyhow. So, but I do think that we could open it up to people from the community to be willing to join us and to travel with us and be a part of it, not necessarily to make anything off from it.
Yeah, I'm not real fond of the idea of a fundraiser. I don't know that we need to do that. I think it's a goodwill tour and
yeah.
PR. That's how I looked at it anyway. I agree with you, Jane.
I guess the question that Steve is asking is, what's the initial individual ideas of commissioners on their interest in participating in such a venture?
Well, I won't be on the committee anymore, but I'd be interested in going if you go from May 29th to June 11th. I would be interested. The first one just starts a little bit early before school's out and creates some issues with my other part-time job. So otherwise, I'd be very much interested in going. So from that standpoint, how soon do we have to make a decision on how many want to go, or can people take this home and think about it till the next meeting? I
think the next step in my mind would be meeting with, again, an individual who would be our coordinator, who would market the tour, sell the tour. They could come up with a more detailed plan with actual costs and figures,
Yep.
promotional materials. And then again, our commission responsibility would probably be promoting it in various ways. And I don't know exactly how we would do that, but that would probably be our primary responsibility, is working with that individual to promote the tour.
I like that aspect, you know, because then we're not dealing with travel insurance and all the
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
That's their specialty, and then they're responsible. But we can give them an outline of where we would like to go and see if it's within reason and within a reasonable budget. But I think, you know, a minimum of a 10, 12-day tour, you know, at a minimum.
So are there any suggestions on who we want to approach as to putting this together and giving us some costs and ideas? Or do we want to put it out, put feelers out and have more than one look at it and give us quotes?
When Wade Olson took that whole group, I didn't go on that, but they got such a wonderful connection with New Ulm. If you look at the kiosk, there's a picture of Larry with the Lord Mayor presenting our little flag things that we bought, remember? I mean, that was a lovely thing, and all of our kids from sister cities showed up at this event. It was a really nice, super connection, I thought, to sister cities. And so, I mean, we definitely would like, since he's already done that, if I was going to make a suggestion, I'd say him. I've never worked with him. I've never gone on a trip with him. He's a terrific guy, and he's already done it, and he already has a link in with sister cities. And he's Denny Warda's nephew, so.
Everything Candy said is true, and I agree with it.
You know, Wade's really well-rounded and connected and knows the mayor of Ulm very well and Dorothea.
Well, it's the countryside.
Correct.
And everything there, and how to connect it with the tour bus and everything else.
Okay, well, I think the same is true of Joe Meyer and Germania Tours. He's operated here out of New Ulm for a number of years. He generally has taken smaller groups over there, but certainly through our Concord Singer contacts and the like, I think he certainly could. I think we should approach both of them and let them put something together, a bid.
I think that's a wonderful idea. We've got two to choose from and see what they can come up with to be competitive.
And they're definitely local connections, and just this weekend, Joe was talking with me about contacts that he's had back and forth with the people from the Blas Capella Neu-Ulm, who we visited in 2019, so there's a chance, there's other ways, other avenues to be added besides the official connection.
We don't know these, like Wade's tours or Joe's, if they've got other tours going for next year, but, it's start the planning process.
So who would like to reach out to both of those individuals and ask them to put a proposal together?
I can reach out to Wade. I've actually had a conversation with him last week, and I got him in contact with Steve. And Wade had some family business that came up this past week here, so hopefully next week.
Larry and Dick and I would want to maybe put together a little narrative and share it with both of those individuals, saying we're sharing it with the two of you, so they know that
We're consistent.
if they're interested, and maybe they don't want to compete against another individual and put time into preparing it if they know they may not get it, but we can at least offer it to both of them and say, here's our plan, this is what we'd like to see, here's a rough estimate of, kind of where we'd like to go, and if you can get back to us by next month's meeting with, or maybe that's too soon, maybe we should push it off to September and say, we'd like to be able to promote this in the fall, we're going to make our decision in September, maybe go that route.
Yeah.
I would suggest that we'd give them until September, right before September, only because this is already the second week of July, and August is right around the corner.
Well, and then maybe we might have an option to invite them to come to the meeting and present in person.
Here.
Yeah.
That way we can ask any questions as commissioners.
Remember that if you're going to have them present, you have to let Lisa know about 5 days before, so she can put it on the agenda. Okay? All right. Then 6.5, the park kiosk update. We do need a motion and a second to refund Carolyn Smith in the amount of $52.29 and Eddie Portner in the amount of $25 for repairs and photos and materials for the kiosk. And then there are pictures that were included in our minutes of the update and what they all did, and I just saw my picture.
And I'm not married to anything that's there, so if you have something to put in, I tried to put everything anybody gave me, I put it in there. Terry and I cleaned the thing out. It was an awful mess when we cleaned it out. Larry and Eddie volunteered to put a weather stripping thing over the top, and
We put some storm window clips on it and some extra screws and made do with what we have and buttoned it up.
that it's good.
So it's
better.
weathertight
So
now.
go look at it. And then if you have something for me to put in, I asked for pictures from people, and I got tomorrow we're going to a thing with Helgar and Uli.
Holger and Uli
Holger
are
and
here.
Uli are here,
Keats.
and they were sister cities' parents for the Regelman boys, so they'll be here tomorrow. And I'll take some pictures then, and I don't know if there's anything else that I've missed and didn't put in, let me know. It has a lot of information on it, plus stuff like that.
Bells came in and asked me, who's this Eddie guy? Gotta give her the scene.
It's cute. I suppose I don't know.
That's Carolyn's staff.
Yeah. The pool boy, yeah. You should have told her that. So go look at it and then give me suggestions or help or anything.
So can I get a motion?
I will make that motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll make sure that you get paid. Thank you. All right. Okay, under new business, the outbound intern stipend. We did do some contacting over there to make sure, but we did find out that they're getting about $521.34 per month during the 12-week program while they're over there. So they also are getting a stipend, just like we give people that come here a stipend. And the location of the internship does not pay them. It's also kind of funded like a little bit different than ours, but it's funded. So they are getting something while they're over there. And that's really nice to know because we had no clue whether or not they were getting anything while they were over there. So also under outbound, Noah, I got a little ahead of myself. He submitted his first article and it was published in the Journal on the 29th of June. And that included 2 photos. So he is following through on the requirements that we expect from him while he's over there.
Just coming back into 7.1, if I may, and we had a little sidebar conversation prior to the meeting about wages, and is this going to be an issue when potential interns look at that and say, $1,500 for the summer or for 3 months versus what I can make stateside? Again, I think we need to do it whatever we can to make this attractive to potential candidates, especially real strong candidates. And if they're looking at it thinking, I'm going to make $1,500, they're probably going to spend that or more in their weekend travels. And is that going to be harmful to us? And should we look at subsidizing that or encourage OHM to consider bumping that up? Just looking at how difficult it is to hire here locally, especially young adults.
I will look into it. I will go and ask Lisa what we need to do, how we go about getting that on the agenda so we can discuss it more.
Yeah, it would be kind of interesting to know the history of has there been a wage increase in the past 10 years, or has it been a fixed amount? You know, it's something to relook at that, I think.
Better than nothing, but 15-year-olds here in New Ulm are making more than that. So.
Correct.
But
Well,
these are older kids too. Plus, it's the great joy of getting to go to Germany for that. I've never noticed any of our kids not wanting to go.
Yeah.
If they apply for it, they usually want
I
it.
don't think it can be expected to be even close to a break even with what they might earn during.
Priceless experience.
Yeah, it's the experience,
it's
and it's something
experience.
special on your resume
Yep.
that money really can't buy. I'm not as concerned about it as Steve is apparently, so.
No, it's worth mentioning and something that we can look into, but I can ask for a history on it and have that put on the agenda for next month or the month after when she gets it.
So do we pay anything more than what we get from 3M? Because 3M is it's 1,650, so it's not that different
It's really
from
not
what
that
Alma's
different.
doing.
And we're
No.
paying the flights,
Yep, and we pay the flights.
you know, so it's the experience, but also the community benefits if this individual, you know, Felix comes, if we get him out to some of the service clubs, he's going to be speaking within the community. That's promotion of our program and our city and our connections. And the employer, you know, is willing to allow the exchange
Flexibility.
student, you know, to go to these groups within our community. And, you know, so it helps the employer too, you know, just for awareness, you know, and things like that.
Every kid I've ever had when we told them, besides, you'll get some money. I get money too? Yes, you go down and get it from Lisa Pelza. Once a month, we give you, I think once a month, maybe once I get money too? Yes, you get money too. It was like a big deal to them.
Yeah, yes.
I don't know any kids who haven't been excited by it.
But they don't advertise that, obviously, on their
They
end.
must not, because they were always surprised when I told them that we,
Seriously, we get to get paid?
Money,
That's what,
too.
the two told me.
Yeah.
Yep, you do, just, well, okay. So it does
Well,
give them something.
while we're on the topic of the exchange, is it necessary to run each possible service speaking engagement through Lisa, or can we do that directly with, since I'm his host parent for the first 6 weeks, set those up, or do we have to jump through
Jack
it?
Minch used to do that when I was here. Does somebody do that now? I don't know.
No, well, I.
There was
I'm-
somebody who kept track of that. Jack Minch did it. He kept a list where they were supposed to go and when they were
Well,
supposed to be there.
since first host family, I can do some, and I'll give the list on to Terry, and he'll know who's been contacted and who he's spoken to, and fill out the rest. Is that reasonable?
I think it,
I don't think it
I
needs
don't
to go
believe it
through
has to
Lisa.
go through Lisa.
Okay,
'Cause I
thank
don't
you.
remember.
I don't want to step on toes.
I just think that Felix, if he's reporting to Jason Kringle, I think at 3M, that if he just lets his boss know, or his department head who he's reporting to, that give him a week's notice on the calendar or whatever, and put these dates out that, and, they're gonna give him tasks, and he's a salary type employee, so he'll be able to come in early or later to work on his projects, whatever they're trying to
Just
assign him
like,
to.
was it August 17th for the brat stand?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it is. So, okay. Any further discussion? If not, under announcements is the brat stand. It is for August 17th. We do still have some slots open for.
11 to 12 is busy. I need somebody in there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll force my sister to stay, but I think somebody else should sign up. That's not always a threat.
Noon to 2 is the real key.
Yeah, I will
That's
be
what-
there off and on most of the day.
All right.
I have also went through the tub. I made sure that we've got enough boats. We've got enough of everything that we need, all the supplies we need. So that's all been taken care of and is
Have we
ready to go.
located our sign?
Yep, they're in my garage. They're all ready to go.
Great.
Everything has been validated and checked, and it's,
Brian, are you going to advertise for us?
If you talk nicely to me, Carolyn,
Do we have to bring you brats like Terry used to do? Terry used to bring him brats to get them. It was good.
If you want, I can come in there in the noon hour, 11 o'clock.
Oh, good.
I could do that.
Okay.
so if you want to let Lisa know that you would like to work during that time, that she's keeping track of the calendar.
Okay.
Okay, so if we can get that filled out, that would be greatly appreciated.
You can do a remote.
What's that?
You can do a remote.
Well, we'll see, maybe.
I can't do the taste
No,
test.
I'm
You know,
being
you can't-
facetious,
you-
but
you
you
know.
get the gist.
I can't multitask. I can't be handing out bratwurst and talk at the same time. Oh my God, no one can do that. Guy can't do that.
You can't walk and chew gum either, huh?
Right away, okay? So last is the adjournment. The next meeting will be held on Monday, August 1st, 2022, at 5:15 p.m. in the Kegel Club, okay? And
I got something, Jane.
go ahead.
Saturday, this coming Saturday, a lady had reached out to me via email, Joanna Keinzer, I believe. She's from Detmold, Germany, not our sister cities, but we have a relationship, obviously. Detmold's where the real Herman is, you might say. And she's got a relationship with a friend from Grafton or something, South Dakota, and they've each gone. This Johanna has come to South Dakota previously. Her South Dakotan friend has gone to Detmold, and they're gonna the two couples are gonna meet in South Dakota again and come to Bavarian Blast. And I'm gonna do a little mayor exchange of Herman-related things, and she's got something for us apparently too. So that'll be nice. I said, "God, maybe we could get you to walk in the parade behind me." She didn't seem too excited, and she's got 3 little kids, so. But I'm going to tell Clay, see if he'll cover it in the paper. It's a neat story.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Is there anything else for the good of the order? If not, I entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.